Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption. Hey, good morning everybody. Today is the 1st of June, and I just want to say, tried to get this done last night. Sorry for the inconvenience, but technical difficulties just didn't let us happen. So anyway, just to move on, some of this stuff may be not terribly old, but it might be a little bit, because you know how time flies when you're having fun. So it looks like the Barzani's party continues to negotiate with the Finance Committee on the budget. So we know that there was some deals with the Kurdistan region. It was the Democratic side and the Patriotic Union side had some differences, but it looks like the Democratic side had to sort some things, and they didn't quite like it, so they changed some amendments to the budget, and it didn't go over very well. So they're going to be sorting that out. The interesting thing about this is that the timing that they've been talking about all of this has been in the coming days, next week, early next week, and so forth. They even said things like in the coming hours, and that was for yesterday, for Wednesday and Thursday. Those things obviously they didn't happen. But we're still moving forward. There's more articles out about that today, which is again the first. They said that the earliest date was going to be presented, when they said this yesterday, was going to be for next Saturday. I believe that we have another article out today that's going to support that they're talking about this Saturday. One of the things that I was trying to convey to people a couple videos back was about a supposed convergence, if you will, between the United States debt ceiling and Iraq's budget. And it looks like that's becoming more and more evident that they may have some correlation. Whether that's true or not to be determined coming up, but it looks like the U.S. House of Representatives adopted it, and then they passed the resolution, I guess, to get to the Senate. So that could happen at any time between now and hopefully by Monday, which is the 5th. I think that's what the Secretary Yellen had said, that they would have issues out that far. So let's see how that turns out. But ultimately, the 2023-2024 budget is still up in the air, and what we're waiting for may be right alongside that, prior to it, or maybe just after. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But anyway, the next thing I was going to talk about too is that the POS systems have been in the news quite a bit. Okay, the implementation of these POS systems was scheduled for today. That's been on time. We were talking about it yesterday. The e-governance and comprehensive digital transformation is all being talked about. They're talking about advanced mechanisms, international standards. They're talking about QR codes because of the accuracy of these certificates in these systems. They'll be able to verify records quite quickly. So that's a big thing since they came out with that. This last week, they also have some things in the news that are talking about, there was about 67 to 70 paragraphs that are part of this next vote. And again, they're talking about these articles could be on the table as early as Saturday. So let's see how that all turns out. But it sounds to me like we're going to have decisions to be made quite quickly. Yesterday was a big day too, because of certain things they were talking about. They were talking about the point of sales being activated today, which we now know that that's the case, and there'll be more probably in the coming days. But they suspended, the Central Bank of Iraq suspended the Western Union. That's money coming in and out of the country, and that was a big deal because that's what it is, money coming in and out of the country. We haven't seen anything about them hooking up their electronic systems that they had said that they had shut down, so we don't know, but now we're seeing the activation of the POS today, so that's positive. Today is the last banking day of this week, and then we go into the following week, this weekend, which is Sunday, which coincidentally happens to be about the time that the debt ceiling and the budget are on the table again. Okay, so there really is kind of an interesting convergence on those types of things. But the Western Union, to us, suggests that the Central Bank of Iraq is in full control of their money. We believe that the central bank, at the central bank level, that the CBI is fully ready for the Forex system, because that's what they'll be using to do international currencies. So let's see how that happens, how that plays out, because the retail side of it is when we are affected by it, not when the central banks are having their time with the currency. They could be doing it right now behind the scenes with themselves today after banks closed. There would be no reason why they couldn't communicate to one another in a global sense out until probably Sunday afternoon. Our Forex opens, I believe, somewhere around 5-ish on Sunday. So hopefully, we see something. We never know. Obviously, anything can happen. We just go with what the information that we have in writing, and some of our banking sources and some of our financial resources, et cetera, that have communications and know about systems and how they work. So we glean all that stuff, and you'll find some really good quality conversation in our Discord at Patreon. Yesterday was on fire. There was a lot of people in there. We had just numerous. Pompey Peter, we had Sunkist, we had Militiaman, we had Day Trader, we had Petra. We had all kinds of other new folks too. I think there was White Man, John 77. There was just a bunch of people in there. Please forgive me if I brutalize you guys' names, but I'll memorize them soon enough. But anyway, the point of sale system, again, they're out to the education of the citizens of the cell devices. They have the Ministry of Planning is launched. The Ministry of Justice is implementing today. The Ministry of Communications is also on the table today. And the central bank. The Central Bank of Iraq is basically telling everybody that they are geared up and ready to go, and going to have more online in accordance with the Council of Ministers. So these things are all taking place. They did it on time. A lot of folks think that nothing ever gets done on time, and it seems that way. But when it comes to the central bank, when they say they're going to do something, a lot of times they have it done early. And so here we are with the POS systems ready to go. So that's what they're going to be using. We all know about the ICE CUDA system for the taxes and tariffs. It's electronic. We know the Buna platform's electronic. We know that the ISO 20022 is on fire. It's able to be used and will be. The FedNow system is said to be activated for banking as early as today, and then it'll be coming on board also throughout the month, I'm assuming. So we'll see how that turns out. Again, the vote is for, it looks like, again, it says that they're pushing for from today. The Finance Committee gives the blocs an opportunity to resolve their differences and until next Saturday. So they have adjourned their meetings. So they're going to be coming back, it looks like, on Saturday for that vote. So that's a big deal. And then the Minister Fawad Hussein, he says that Thursday that the problems related to the Kurds shared in the budget will be resolved. One of his quotes is, "There will be a solution. Take it from me, okay?" So he's basically stating there will be a solution. And so when he says that, it's a pretty bold statement. So it sounds to me like when he says that, he means it. And maybe he knows a little bit more about this than we do. So I kind of feel it's the same way with our Senate vote. It's probably likely that this is going to be resolved. It did get through the 2 votes yesterday. So the convergence coming up this weekend is phenomenal. It's fascinating. Just know that, the ICE CUDA at the borders in place, the Buna's in place, the SWIFT in place, POS activated, implemented, launched. They're using all those words. So be excited. It's looking good. And I'll keep you informed as best I can in the coming days. And let's have a good weekend. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to the channel or join us at the Militiaman and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.